Shut up. I'm not racist. I'm just reclaiming some things. And what I need to tell you is that I started comedy.
You identify as black. Welcome back to another episode of the Clown Syndrome podcast. My name, as always, is John, aka Fuckboy Supreme, and today I have a very special guest with us. He is your local thespian, comedian, possibly musical theater major. His name is Nathan Beeman.
Hey, whoa, thank you. I'm also known as Pizza Supreme. It's my favorite fish. Sorry, that was a dumb fucking joke. But, yeah.
So, welcome back to another episode of the Clown Syndrome podcast. I am joined today by Mr. Nathan Beeman. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm feeling really good. It was, you're a very hospitable podcast host. He came.
So don't get used to it. Next time, no water. Bring your own.
You really want to hear this in your mind? You need me to. You need. Whatever.
Okay, we can end it here.
I would have done the same thing. I fucking hate people. That's why I carry a gun. People smack their lips mostly. Yeah.
Oh man, my dad would annoy the shit out of you.
I had a friend come up to me behind me one time with a cup of ramen noodles, and he started smacking his lips into the ramen noodles, and I grabbed the ramen noodle. I was like, but I went for his throat. And so,
as you should.
Yeah, I had to clean up the ramen noodles out of his floor. I should have just fucking left, honestly. Same kid got arrested for smuggling a migrant woman across the border. Fucker made me clean up noodles. Maybe he deserves it.
So now, were the noodles related to the migrant?
To the migrant? In no way whatsoever.
It wasn't an Asian migrant?
No, it wasn't. I don't know the full story of her heritage, but she... the picture, she was kind of squinty. But I think that was fear.
That's a good way to put it.
I think that was fear, to be honest, with her. I don't know. You like Asian people?
I hate everybody the same. But yeah, I don't have a problem with any one particular race. I like Asians.
Lucky, it's cool to not have that bias, I guess. You're very healthy. I hate everybody the same. Just like you're very... Where do you think that comes from? Just like, if it's not just
sales.
Pure race.
I sold life insurance for 6 years. So dealing with leads. Well, you learn that there's no such thing as a unique person. There isn't. Everybody fits into a different category. And, one demographic, if I can fucking speak, one demographic of people is not really too different from another demographic, especially if you're just looking at them based off of race. Like a much bigger differentiating factor is going to be money, new or old, because all old money kind of act the same. All new money kind of acts the same.
You ever read The Great Gatsby?
No.
That's what it's about.
Well, I take it back. In high school, yeah, but I don't remember it.
I love Speaking of new money, I saw somebody 3D print this attachment where you could smoke like 20 cigarettes at once. I was like, that reminds me of the 20s. We're going all fucking new money, baby.
Well, hey, I mean, if you smoke 20 cigarettes at once, you're not going to have to worry about rent for long.
I guess not. I've switched to Zyn. Like that's 20 Zins at once. We're back in the 20s with the Zyn instead of the cigarettes.
I never got into the whole tobacco thing. Like my grandma smoked, and like the smell I just hated.
What smell I really love is like a beer, like the musk of beer and cigarette smoke on a humid day. Just like. That's
so you're a disgusting individual.
I'm a disgusting. I never got into the tobacco either. I just do Zyn because it makes my nipples hard for a minute.
Gotta cut some glass real quick.
Yeah, no, it's always in my mind. It's always a Zyn or a Blue Chew that I'm gonna leave this event. I'm taking one. You know what I mean? Because you gotta live.
You trying to be hard leaving a comedy show?
I'll either be hard
Speaking
or
of which,
very
this
focused.
episode is sponsored by... No.
It's sponsored by Zyn and Blue Chew. They're
Yep.
partnering up to create this fucking monster of a product for men that don't own their own homes.
And
Gets
don't
you
have
really
a job.
hard and really focused.
Yeah. So anyways, Nathan, what shows do you have coming up?
On the 24th of this month, on August, I have a Drop the Pin showcase in Garland. It's going to be at a tattoo shop. So don't come if you're scared of needles. But we're going to be at a tattoo
So
shop. It's gonna be pretty
anti-vaxxers
cool.
are welcome.
Anti-vaxxers are definitely welcome. Speaking of which, I just got diagnosed with autism. No joke. I'm starting to think it's the vaccines.
Yeah.
I'm like, I watched one RFK Jr. video, and I was like, he's right. And I'm a self-hating everything. You know what I mean?
So if you're autistic, what is your superpower?
It's probably
Lesbian impersonation?
yeah. Oh, dude, you should see me from the back. It gets so much. It's crazy. No, I guess my superpower is I actually go really hard on learning the Bible, and I lost all my friends doing that.
Okay.
Because they thought that I was like all into it, and I just really like to read it, and I like didn't know how to communicate with anybody else, and so like I don't know.
So what do you like about the Bible? Like what attracts you or drives you to it?
It's like one of the world's oldest books that we have access to right now. That's like that kind of makes me hard. You know what I mean? It's just like also
So you like history?
the history of it. I like the philosophy of the people of the time. I think one of my favorite things about learning about all of this stuff is not like it's so that it gets you in the mindset of somebody from that time, and it lets you know what threats they had posed to them, and it lets you know the social factors. It's like what drives me crazy is that. And I mean, it's like you said, there's not really such thing as a unique person. There's not such thing as a unique time period. And I think one of the most interesting comparisons is that of whatever modern day we're in, compare that to fucking ancient Rome. And what I mean is that like nobody had a kitchen in their house because everybody went and ate bread from these like fast food restaurants of like what we could equivalent them to today, and they started like stacking apartments on. Fucking right, fucking
The
right.
originals, OGs.
Fucking and like a real capitalist, they just had to disappear. It's when's the last time you heard of the Roman Empire? It's the Roman Catholic Church now, and we're thriving.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
It's as long as I have my hands on a child, there's a wink there. I'm not Roman Catholic. As long as they have their hands on a child, I think they're winning. It all depends on what the purpose of it all is, I think.
Well, the priests do like their young boys.
You know, young boys are pretty cool. Not to touch, but they're pretty. I think they're pretty lit. I work with kids a lot. Never once have I wanted to touch one. You know what I mean? Just
I hope I know what you mean.
No, I hope you do too. Never once have I wanted to touch a child, and in fact, the little boys fucking stink. Like bad. Like I sent one of them because I work in theater with little kids. I sent one of them into this dressing room. They shut the door. They didn't wear underpinnings. We told them that you have to wear underpinnings because I don't want to see this little boy's naked fucking body while I have to dress him in a costume. He's 7 years old, pardon. And maybe shouldn't be saying this about it. I didn't name him, but he fucking reeked. But it was so gross. You opened the curtain and it was just like, ugh. And it was mid-show too. I was just like, the 4D like movie things that used to be, the scratch and sniff movies?
No. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh my fuck. Okay, so we got the third dimension. We've unlocked the third dimension of movies, right?
Okay.
So we've got 3D movies. You can't watch one because you're a pirate.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but 3D doesn't work for me.
Is this a permanent thing or is this cool? I was gonna ask about it when we started the podcast because it was a good piece of material for me, but I completely forgot about it. You make it work, man. It's a really stylish eye patch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got it from Etsy.
I guess that's where you would get something like that, just a specialist. Like, I'm sure that there are like people that make amputee limbs on Etsy. Pretty,
Imagine like an octopus limb. The porn would be crazy.
That's not hard to do. That's not hard to do at all. All I need
yeah.
is some epoxy and a dildo.
Yeah. So this one was made by a girl in Belarus.
Oh.
Which we can't get anything from Belarus now because of Russia.
Oh, is that the thing? Is that the Russian sanctions that are going on right now?
Yeah, because Belarus is aligned with Russia.
Okay.
So they're like a kind of like a puppet state of Russia. So while Belarus isn't directly involved into the war in Ukraine, they're not exactly condemning it. So we put a whole bunch of sanctions on Belarus.
I mean, I think I'm pretty ignorant to all of this, but you did say puppet state, and I'm thinking that would be a pretty interesting show. A Russian guy with his hand up somebody else's ass trying to make him talk. It wouldn't be convincing because the accent
Vladimir
would throw him
Putin.
off. That
You just described Vladimir Putin.
a man like that has to be good at pleasuring another person, right?
I don't know. What's your theory?
I don't know if I'm forming it right now, but he's just got to be very good at Epstein. Do you think he was good at it, or do you think that he just did a lot of it?
Oh, Well, so if I'm looking at this pragmatically, which I am, you got to think. The more active you are sexually, normally the better you are at it.
Less cum you have too.
Well, the more control you have, blah, blah, blah. So, depending on how much this dude was doing it, he might have been pretty good. I don't know.
I've heard stories of their housekeepers having to clean sheets with semen and shit stains on them. If that doesn't mean that you're good at sex, I don't know what does. I'm so good at sex that I get cum and shit all over the sheets every time.
Well, if you don't know what an enema is, it's a very likely thing that could happen. Like, you remember Rick Santorum?
No.
Oh, okay. So there used to be this politician named Rick Santorum. Okay. The thing is, his last name, Santorum, is the name for a substance that includes sexual lubricant and fecal matter.
So his last name
means shit lube.
That's fun.
Yeah, it must have been great to be him in high school.
Yeah, no, I come here. The teachers at the front of class, come here, shit lube. I get over here, shit lube.
Yep. But anyways, we got some things to talk about. First of all, we gotta talk about Boeing, okay? Because that company's kind of blowing.
That was a good one.
Thank you. I thought of it myself. So if you don't know what's going on with Boeing, lately they've been having a lot of problems with their planes. This goes back a few years ago when their 737 Maxes were crashing into the ground. Okay. Apparently, they cut a bunch of corners when developing that aircraft. They recently got fined for it. We thought Boeing was fine after that. I was like, there's no way the largest aircraft manufacturer in the world is going to be completely inept at designing aircraft. Lo and behold, doors start blowing off of Boeing airplanes. Not only that, but the landing gear is failing. There's stuff going wrong with the engines. They've just got problems left and right.
You're just listing shit that planes don't need, really.
Planes need windows.
Why?
Because you can't breathe at 30,000 feet. You will freeze to death.
I'm just giving you a hard time, but what's fun about the plane windows is, have you ever seen that scene of this kid getting like his intestines sucked out of his asshole because he's like plugged up against an airplane window?
No.
I don't know why that's a cornerstone memory. It's like, that's why I'm
That's a core
afraid of
memory for
airplanes
you?
without windows. That's gotta be why I won't step on an airplane without windows. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus. That's like some fucking. Oh, what's the website where you can see all the videos of people dying?
Run the Gauntlet is one that I'm thinking of. There was also another one called Hood Site. And before you come after me for this, like, what the fuck? This was during my formative middle school years where we would look at
So this was like
people
2 years
dying on the internet. Yes, it was just like 4 actually. And
ago. Because you do look very young.
yeah.
So if I was guessing your age, by the way, I'd never met this fucking guy before.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. We're just as smooth as butter or something.
Yeah, well, you're a comedian, so you're kind of fucked up in the head. So welcome to the club. But
for sure.
if I'm guessing your age, I'm gonna guess about 24.
You're right.
Thank you. I'm a genius.
He's not.
Don't
And I
you
won't tell
fucking-
him.
Don't you fucking dare.
I won't tell him. This is I've had to stop telling people how old I am, actually. I've already got the one felony, so I can't have another a fake ID. But
We gotta talk about the felony. But anyway,
we can't, whatever. I'm 18.
righto. So now Boeing is going great. I'm being sarcastic, of course. So they're like, we're fucking up airplanes. You know what we should really do? Spacecraft. Seems like a brilliant idea, right?
Who gave him that job? They're just like, you're doing a really good job at making things fly this way. You're going to do an even better job at making things fly this way.
I think they just woke up and was like, fuck, you know what? Because they smoke.
I hope they do. How else are they going to get high?
Speaking of getting high, we should make a space shuttle. Then the other one was like, fuck. That's what I was thinking. So anyways, they had their first actual crewed mission to the space station with 2 astronauts on board.
What does it say? Crude mission?
Uh-huh.
What is a crude? What makes
With
that
crew
crude?
on board.
Oh, crude. I thought you meant like they were naked or made of oil or something. I don't know what crude means.
Probably, maybe before.
Maybe.
Rubbing each other down.
Dust
You gotta
to
get into the
dust.
spacesuit somehow.
How else will you fit in?
Yep. Oh, dog-a-doo. He's actually probably got to go to the bathroom. So let me take him out real quick. Yeah, Boeing's doing so great with airplanes. They decide, let's make a spaceship. So when their Starliner, which is what it's called, was originally set to launch, they had a problem with it. So they scrubbed the launch, and so they have to fix something. And everybody's like, oh God, here we go. Boeing can't do airplanes, and so obviously they can't do a space shuttle. And Boeing's like, no, we got it under control. We thought something was wrong, but it's fine. We promise it's fine. There's no problem. We're gonna do it. So they actually do launch the second time. So the astronauts, get up there. And what we didn't know is when the Starliner was getting close to the ISS, their thrusters started malfunctioning. They started having problems in space.
Was this something that they knew was going to happen, like the Challenger thing?
Well, not publicly. So if they knew there was a problem, they weren't telling anybody. Sounds familiar. So we didn't actually know about that until like a little bit ago. But now the astronauts were only supposed to be in the ISS for 8 days. And so they're running tests to come back, and they're having problems with the propulsion system. And the problem is they need that propulsion system because when they come in for re-entry, they have to orient the spacecraft in a certain way to hit the atmosphere right so that they don't die coming in. But the thrusters aren't working. So now they think they've got the problem fixed, but they won't bring those astronauts home because now they're risking it. And given their recent track record, if I was one of those Boeing astronauts, I wouldn't want to risk it.
If I were one of those Boeing astronauts, I would have said, fuck, only 7 days? You're training your entire life to get up into space. You only stay there for a week. I think, not saying they did anything to cause it, but I'm just saying as an astronaut, it'd be pretty fucking sick to just be stuck up in space.
Yep.
That's, so, I feel like it's a desirable outcome.
Kinda. I mean, but if you think about it, when they park their car, they're like, oh, this should be fine. They come back in 8 months now. It's like, oh, the battery's dead.
I hope they have family that can take care of their earthly affairs.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I also hope that they're waiving the no sex rule on the International Space Station. They're up there for a long time, a lot longer than they agreed to. They better be able to fuck.
I mean, there's already other astronauts there. So
I don't give them their own.
So actually, the normal space missions are about 6 months. So now the problem is, since Boeing can't be trusted, they're thinking...
You can't quantify them by 2 huge disasters. You can't quantify them by that one thing. I'm sure Boeing is very good at lots of other things.
I mean, do you want to potentially put those astronauts' lives at risk off of, well, things haven't been going great, but I'm sure that thing is fine, that already malfunctioned twice before going up there? If you were the CEO of Boeing that already had to testify in front of Congress for all these problems your company has had, are you really going to risk your only 2 astronauts on the most high-profile mission you've had in the last 50 years?
If I were the CEO of Boeing, I'd be getting off on all of this.
Why?
It'd be fun. It's just like playing a game of little chess, except for 2 of my pawns are on the moon. And I get to sit at my desk and testify in front of Congress saying, no, we didn't know it would happen. Yeah, we did.
Well,
we did. I'm getting a kick out of it.
You have to remember, if you are the CEO of Boeing, 170,000 people rely on that job to feed their families. So if these astronauts die on re-entry and Congress shuts down that company because of your company's mistakes, all those people now don't have a job. That is a giant detrimental impact to the U.S. economy. And also, you're going to go to prison.
Yes, and what's actually terrifying about this entire prospect, like legitimately, is the idea of a world without Boeing, or the idea of a world where Boeing like forecloses on themselves. I saw a headline the other day. It was like something about how they were going to lose their government contract. Boeing said they were going to lose their government contract, completely like absolving them of any guilt of any plane crash. And now that's done, and now they're gonna get judged or whatever. Don't quote me, go Google it yourself, but it's something like that.
So I haven't seen what you're talking about, but they did have to pay very heavy fines. Well,
how much? It's Boeing. Like how?
So for the 2 planes that crashed in Africa, they had to pay, I think it was $243 million.
By the way, 2 planes crashing in Africa and nobody's making that big of a deal about it. 2 planes crashed in New York and it changed everything.
Yeah, but the planes in New York crashed into buildings. The ones in
Africa crashed into huts. You fucking racist.
Thank you.
That's they're all equal. They're all
Yeah, but they did make a big deal about that. I don't know if you remember, but when that happened, the FAA had the ability to ground every single 737 MAX in the U.S., and most of Europe agreed with them. So all those planes, which is tens of thousands, are just out of commission for months while they were trying to figure out what happened.
It wasn't for months. I think it was I think just over a week. And there was long story short, an airport on an island called Newfoundland. And this is where they used to refuel all of these. It was the pit stop to refuel before they got bigger gas tank engines. So they landed all of the planes in the air. They closed the United States airspace and they had them all land on Newfoundland. And a bunch of Canadians got together and were just like, we gotta feed and clothe all of these people that are displaced. It's really neat. It's really cool.
I have no idea about that.
Yeah, and
Because
it was like,
when the 737s got grounded, they weren't allowed to leave where they landed.
are we talking about 9/11 or the African?
The
Africans. I'm talking about 9/11.
Okay. We're talking about different things.
I didn't know anything about the African crash.
Crashes.
We're talking about the crashes. They didn't all go down at once. That's sad.
So there's one that happened. And so they're like, oh, well, maybe this is just a freak accident. But then another one crashes about a month later, the exact same way.
They caught me.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
We got the gay. No, but yeah, so that's what happened with those. And the type of crashes these two planes had wasn't unique to just them. These are just the two that crashed. There were other reports of these exact same plane models doing the exact same thing, but the pilots were able to save them.
What kind of crashes are we talking about? Are you an expert on plane crashes?
I do like planes a lot. So what was happening was the plane would be flying, it would either be climbing or maintaining altitude, and all of a sudden it would just nosedive straight into the fucking ground.
That seems avoidable.
The problem is it wasn't. So the pilots would be in the aircraft trying to pull back on the yoke to try to climb again. And what was happening is the plane would dive down, they'd be able to correct it, it would dive down again, and this would happen until it crashed. Because there was a faulty sensor on the front of the plane that was sending bad information to the computers because of the way the plane was designed, yada, yada. Anyways, when the plane was flying, it thought all of a sudden it was stalling. So the plane would automatically just dip itself down to try to gain airspeed so that it wouldn't stall. And when that happens, the trim, which kind of controls level flight, would go out of control. So no matter what the pilots would do, they couldn't override that system. Well, they could, but they didn't have the training on how to do that. So
whose fault was it? Boeing or the fucking pilots that didn't have the training to deal with the instrument?
It was Boeing's, because they didn't tell people that this problem existed, even though they knew about it. Okay? Because they didn't think it would actually happen. They knew it was a possibility, but they didn't think it would be a reality. And then it happened. And then they were like, oh, well, actually, you know, what could have happened is this, that, and the other. And then pilots got training on runaway trim so that if that did happen, they'd be able to save the plane.
Maybe it's just that hard to build an airplane.
It is.
Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just.
No, it 100% is.
Nobody can. It's just too hard.
It's not too hard. They exist.
You just start your own airplane company.
I'm not that smart.
But eye patch.
Yeah, I can't see very well.
I don't know. It's like it has the same effect as a monocle. It's just like
if I got a monocle, it would be the same effect as a monocle.
If you wore a monocle, it would be the same effect as a monocle.
Yeah.
That's a good one there.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah. That's
I can't tell how far. I don't have depth perception, so you're gonna. There we go. You're gonna have to take the lead on that one.
It's okay.
But anyways, talking about how hard it is to build a plane. Yes, very difficult, especially these passenger airplanes, because you have to remember these machines operate 30, 35, 40,000 feet above the ground, where if the human body is exposed to that, first of all, you suffocate. And if you don't suffocate right away, you freeze to death almost instantly.
What about like Amelia Air? They had airplanes where they didn't have coverage. What happened then?
Those planes
they fly
flew
lower?
much, much lower.
Oh.
So also, when you're in that harsh environment up there, these planes are going nearly 600 miles per hour. If you know how when you stick your car or your hand out of a car window going 60 and you feel the wind push your hand back?
Mm-hmm.
If you do that at 600 miles an hour, your flesh will be ripped from your bone instantly. So yeah, they're kind of fucking miracle machines.
That's a hot picture of your hand getting obliterated. Yeah. I don't know. I'll make a plane. I'll do it.
I'm not going on it, so do it. Oh, fuck it, I'll fly it.
Oh, you'll fly. We're
Anyway.
making our plans right now. You'll be the pilot.
Yes, I will. Hope you all got life insurance.
Because the plane is not insured. The plane wouldn't be insured. I feel like that's a scam.
Uninsurable. Well, you see, you could build an experimental plane. That is a class of aircraft.
Do they let people
we are
fly
getting
them?
so out in the weeds on this. So now, what they're thinking is going to have to happen for these Boeing astronauts. SpaceX is going to have to go up there and bring them back on the Dragon capsule. So that should be going up not long from now, but that mission is a 6-month mission. So the 2 astronauts that are up there right now, they're just going to have to be part of that mission and then come home when the Dragon capsule comes back.
Do you remember when Elon Musk, there were those boys in that cave and Elon Musk wanted to build a submarine to get them out?
Mm-hmm.
Now he gets this mission. Now he gets to do what he wanted to. He gets to build a giant and then gets to send it and retrieve people and be the hero.
Well, the SpaceX Dragon capsule has already been making trips back and forth to the space station.
More than once? Is
Yeah.
that
Several
correct me if
times.
I'm wrong? I don't think that most spacecrafts go back and forth more than once. It's like his thing, isn't it?
Before, no. The only one that was the previous space shuttle, because it was a reusable vehicle. But most of them, no, they don't. But Elon Musk, with his rockets, they are reusable. And the capsule also is.
Okay. That's
But SpaceX has been supplying the ISS for the past few years.
through what benefit of their own? Just the right to be in the airspace, or are they just being a good community member? What are they trying to do?
Oh, no, they're making money. So the shit's expensive. So before SpaceX, when somebody like United Launch Alliance or Virgin Galactic, any of them, when they send a rocket up, their rockets are one-time use only. And so Elon Musk has a really good analogy for this, which I'll explain in a second. But it's incredibly expensive to do that. So you build this rocket, you get shit up to space, and then you just destroy it. That's the entire lifespan. So the prices to do that are understandably quite high. Now, Elon Musk, he was the first person and still the only person to have a company that builds reusable rockets. So the rocket takes the stuff up, it re-enters the atmosphere, and then lands itself. They refuel it, do a little bit of maintenance, and send it again, which is much less expensive than building a rocket, fueling it, sending it up, saying fucking bye-bye, then building another rocket, fueling it, and getting rid of it. Like, imagine your car. If you got in your car and you drove to wherever you're going, and then your car was no good anymore. Now you have to wait for them to build a new car to deliver it to you so that you can drive home.
It's funny because it's exactly what it's like driving a Prius.
Priuses are good cars.
It's
Not a
okay.
cool car. I'll give you that, but it's a good car.
I will give you that it is a good car. My mileage on it keeps going down, like my mile per tank keeps going down. I'm like, fuck, this is no longer like a Prius I can brag about. You know what I mean? It's like 280 per gallon. It's like, it's crazy. I
Per
hate my
tank?
fucking Prius per tank. Yeah. I don't know about that much
When's
about cars.
the last time you changed the spark plugs?
On my other car?
No, on your Prius.
No. I was just like, I'm just saying. I was just like for the sake of it, because I was like, here, I don't know on my Prius. But on
How many
other
miles are on
cars,
it?
I don't fucking know. This isn't my car.
Oh.
This is very newly my car after I totaled my Honda.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. I know. It was the most crazy car accident as well because I was on the highway and a semi decided to just eat my front right wheel, and that was fine. But if anybody
Are
was
you
there, they'd be
originally
dead.
from Texas?
No, yeah,
No,
from
yeah.
Allen.
Okay.
No, I don't know
So
why
you
I
can't
said
drive
no.
anyway. So.
No, I imagine my driving to be very good for Texas driving, but
So
no, you watched me on the way over here. I tried to turn in and I missed. I kind of like swerved and then I realized that you were in your car waiting to drive me past the gate. I was like, fuck, he knows what a bad driver I am now.
don't worry, I didn't see that.
Good. Oh, I just admitted it to you, so it's no.
So don't let Nathan drive my car ever. Got it.
I wouldn't drive it if I wasn't on the insurance, brother.
Yeah, that is a good point. Well, anyways, I know a lot about cars. I probably know the most about cars. My knowledge of cars is
Ever?
huge.
Just the most about cars ever?
Not ever. But I do know quite a lot. And I know people who know a lot about cars. Probably the best people that know about cars.
Probably you're really talking yourself out. What's your favorite car?
Ooh, the hard question to answer. I have to pick one and only one?
How many are you gonna pick on the alternative?
I can give you 5.
Fuck. Okay, let's hear your tier list.
Okay, so first of all, my ideal 5-car garage, I'm going to have a Tesla Model S Plaid, okay, for my EV, because it's just ridiculously fast.
Is the
And
car gonna be plaid or is that just part of the specification?
That's the trim.
Oh, so does it look like plaid or is it just called that?
No, it's a Spaceballs reference.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just gonna be like, yeah, I want my car wearing a kilt.
No.
No.
No, see, on Teslas, Elon Musk is a big fan of the movie Spaceballs.
And only Spaceballs?
No, that's just one of his favorite movies. So in Spaceballs, they have warp speed, okay? But the only thing faster than warp speed is
Is
plaid.
ludicrous speed.
No, is plaid.
Is plaid? What the
Uh-huh.
fuck?
I didn't write the movie. I'm just telling
I haven't
you.
watched the movie in so long. So where does the ludicrous? Is that what that's from? Is that what that is from? Where does the ludicrous speed come into play?
It might also be a Spaceballs reference.
I think
don't
it
know.
is.
It likely is.
I think they would try to warp and they're like, let's go into ludicrous speed. And then
Yeah, I think you're actually right. And the only thing faster than ludicrous is plaid.
it's plaid.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we got to have the Tesla Model S Plaid. Then we're going to have Cadillac CTS V-Wagon, also a badass car, but they don't make anymore. Then I'll have Raptor R, which is the truck. Actually, I only need those 3.
Sir, you only need one vehicle. You only need one vehicle. So close off the 2 with your luxury list.
Okay, so then it's going to be the Raptor R.
The Raptor R is what you're. The name it after that prehistoric element to kind of describe how the car is. I don't know. I don't know much about Raptors. I just imagine the car looking like this.
So the Raptor R is the Ford Raptor, which is the off-road truck, but with the supercharged 5-liter engine. So it's very fast. And it goes off-road like a motherfucker. That is why I would have that. I grew up riding dirt bikes. I'm a big off-roader.
Okay.
So that is why.
It's sick as fuck. When you said 5-liter, what popped into my head was just a little bit less than 3 6-liter bottles. It's just like I pictured 3 6-liter bottles.
I've never seen a 6-liter bottle.
So, I've seen
You mean a 2-liter?
a 2 yeah
3 2-liter bottles?
3 2-liter bottles. Yes, yes. In fact, I'll make the fucking 6-liter bottle. You watch me.
I bet you won't.
I bet. So I'm gonna actually have to go make a bottle now.
Do you have the plastic facilities?
In actuality, my mom works in plastic. All I have to do is ask her to bring home a bag of resin, and I can use it for my little arts and crafts. It looks like little pellets, and I swallow 3 of them at night for good luck. Till I get diagnosed
That's why
with
you look
cancer.
so young.
Yeah, it's
Preservatives.
all in preparation for my Make-A-Wish.
I was gonna say preparation H, but
Preparation A. That's for hemorrhoids, right?
yeah.
I would have made an AIDS joke. That's great. I don't know.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but now you're on the spot. Make an AIDS joke, funny boy.
Make an AIDS joke, funny boy. I don't know why I would have made an AIDS joke. I don't have an AIDS joke. I have a friend named Bill King, and he is an AIDS joke.
I know Bill.
You know Bill? I love Bill. He's trying to backpedal now and tell everybody, stop saying I have AIDS, but everybody knows, buddy.
I mean, that's like core to his set.
For the listeners, Bill King is one of the best fucking AIDS comics in DFW.
I mean, I don't know of any other comics who just say I have AIDS.
That's well,
I can't think of any. I'm gonna be honest with you.
After I watched Bill's set, I got on stage, and that's all I could say after that.
AIDS?
Yeah, it's just like
not HIV, but full blown AIDS.
That's a South Park reference, isn't it?
It is.
The South Park guys also wrote a musical called The Book of Mormon. Fucking love that.
You know, you kind of look like you would be Mormon.
I'm
because of how white you are.
Legitimately pretty terrified of Mormons.
I think they're terrified of you too.
They better be. When I storm out mid shit out of my front door because I want one of their books, they better run with fear. I told them I was a Unitarian. They were like, "What is that?"
Is that just a fancy word for gay?
No, it's just like it's where
I know,
we
that's
go.
them.
It's where we go into a room and worship the devil, is what I told them, and they were just like, "We'll be back here Friday at 3."
I was like, "Sir, you need us here."
Yeah.
I'm so we weren't gonna knock on your door. Ted said he was hungry. We were gonna go to lunch, but now that you tell us you worship the devil, I'm so Friday 3. Are you free at 3? Of course you are. We'll be back. We'll bring chicken.
It's crazy. It did look like they were hungry, but it also looked like they ate each other out. You know what I mean? So I guess they didn't really have to. They looked gay for each other, is what I'm trying to say. I mean,
they're Mormon.
Yeah.
They grew up very sheltered.
They
don't know, which may be a good thing. What acting gay is.
Is your argument that all sheltered people act gay?
To an extent.
Guilty as charged, but
I mean, how sheltered were you?
I think I was very
if you guys
sheltered
don't know,
from
he's
certain
gay.
things.
So these gay jokes this is why.
I look the part. They're relevant.
By the way, you can make jokes back. Like,
oh, I haven't had any, to be completely honest.
So the comedian here doesn't have any jokes.
One of the topics I sent to him before we narrowed down the list was the art of roasting, and it really is an art, and I'm not fucking good at it at all.
Apparently.
I'm not good at it at all. I have friends that tell me, you are really good at roasting once we wind you up, but that just means that they get me upset until I say something that hurts their feelings. So,
see, I want that out of you.
It's I might do it. I'm really relaxed right now. You just you have a very nice home. That Texas flag is really making me comfortable. The Texas flag doesn't make me uncomfortable. I know that does make some people. I don't know if it does make some people uncomfortable. But do you remember saying? Did you grow up in Texas? You asked me that.
I didn't. No.
You didn't. We said the fucking Texas pledge.
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah. Saying they still do is like I was in high school yesterday. So it's like, I know. I definitely know. But I love it. I like looking at people from out of state and saying it like direct eye contact and just being like,
say it right now.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. You look like a Russian with that eye patch.
I don't think that's the Texas Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, it is. Holy shit. Yes, it is. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. The United States Pledge of Allegiance is different.
Yep. Oh, can you fuck off? Where's the X? There we go. Let me see here. We gotta look this up because I've looked it up before, and
I swear to God, if it's different, I swear to God, that's what I said in school every day.
They were like, "We're not gonna teach you the real.
We're not gonna teach you the real thing." Is crazy. That would be wild.
Let's see. Sorry, dog.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Fucking suck it. Where's your official source?
You know what? You know what? Nathan, there we go. If that is your real name,
it is.
Don't fucking tell me that.
I pledge allegiance to Texas. That's what everybody else is like out of state. They're just like, what the fuck are you doing? First day in a new school, everybody stands up for a second pledge. That's fucking alienating is what it is.
Is this a cult? By the way, Texas is very much a cult, and it's the best cult.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There is a cult. There are cults inside of the big cult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the one in Waco.
Yeah. Was that the one that got shut up?
Uh-huh.
There's one in Waco, and then there's another one right now that did that thing where, like, a cult, they go to a city and then buy it out. There's this lady that got a bunch of money online and then went and bought the only restaurant in a small town in Texas, and they ran her out, and now she's just on a fucking cult tour around the United States. And the consensus was like, do we know where she is? Nope. Do we still think that therefore she is going around the country proselytizing people? Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What were we saying?
I've thought of joining that cult. I can't remember what I was saying before then, but
there's another cult you can join that I almost joined without knowing it. It's called the Proud Boys.
That's a fun one. I think that's like yes, a cult. Is it really that much of an organized thing though? Is it more of a?
They are absolutely a cult. So what happened is when I first moved out here, I didn't have any friends. So one of my first friends was this guy named Andrew. And so he invited me to go over to Fort Worth to what's now my favorite burger place, Rodeo Goat. Okay. And so when I got there, he was there, some of his friends there. They were all wearing the same hat, which I was like, that's cool. You guys are friends.
It's a little red hat with some white letters on it.
Black hat with a gold crest thing on it.
What the fuck? So they're like secret societying us now.
Yes. So we were there. We had burgers. We yucked it up. Great fucking time. And then they're like, hey, after this, we're going over to the cigar bar. And I don't smoke. So I was like, I don't really want to go over there. Andrew's like, no, man, just come with us.
Is that it now? Fill me in. Is all they have at a cigar bar cigars, or do they also serve anything else? Because that sounds fucking awful.
I don't know.
To be
honest with you. But anyways, so we went over there and we immediately walked to the back patio. And like the owner of this place was like, hey guys, how you doing? And so we're out there. They bring in some boxes. And then these two big fucking guys close the doors to the patio and stand guard of it. I'm like,
ooh, no.
What's going on here? And then they start the meeting. And the first thing that we did was the leader of the group was all, okay, so we're going to have all the new people here. In order to join level 1, you have to swear allegiance to the Proud Boys. I'm like, what's going on? I was thinking this like, what the fuck did I just do? So they told us what the pledge was, first of all. And then we had to go do it. And they were filming this whole thing while we were doing this so that they have proof it happened, I guess. And so a couple guys go up there, and then it's my turn. And so you have to say what your name is. And so I was fucking around being me when I went up there. So I went up there, and I was like, my name is Chicka Chicka Slim Shady. I got a laugh. That was cool.
And also kicked out.
No.
Did they like you for that?
Yes,
Is that
they
respected?
Did. Everybody likes me. I'm
Good.
amazing.
Good.
My influence is huge.
You.
Oh, yeah, I sold my website. You don't know anything about that yet. Anyway.
No, I don't.
I'll tell you. So, yeah, then I had to pledge allegiance to the fucking Proud Boys. And I only did it because I didn't want to die.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah. And then after that, they're like, okay, now all you level 1s, you can't talk to anybody level 2 and above unless they talk to you first. I was like, the fuck?
That's a really interesting dynamic.
Uh-huh.
It's a very interesting, because, like, what does that allow for? Why is that?
Cult behavior?
No, for sure. That's so weird. That's like you getting roped into a clan meeting, just as comical as somebody being at a clan meeting and not knowing that there need to be
I think
there.
it works the same way.
I think it definitely does. I like the people that are just like, yeah, I got roped into a clan meeting. I didn't know it was a clan meeting before I had to leave, though. I did pack an extra plate for you. You know, like,
but they
clan ribs.
use wonderful fabric, I gotta say.
I bet they
Can't
fucking
find
do.
this at Michael's.
I mean, so the ladies in the clan, like, there's a lady that makes their hoods. You know what I mean? And she's got to be so fucking good at it because that's all she does. All I'm saying is that you can't, don't knock the craft of making these clan hoods. It's just, does
Don't
it
hate
look
the
like
player, hate the game.
exactly. Now, the original design does look like somebody had a pair of scissors and some duct tape and didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? It's just like, how do I get this peak to go down? Holy shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a really shitty costume, or just like, don't like black people. What are we going to do about it? I'm going to use my art to save the world. So I need a clan fashion label.
I do wonder why they want to dress like ghosts.
That
doesn't
don't
make
black
sense.
people always die first in horror movies?
Yeah, but they didn't have horror movies when the clan formed.
Nah, but but we had, the clan had formed when we had horror movies, so maybe, I don't know, the ghost always kills the black people because of, maybe the ghosts are inspired off the clan instead of the clan being inspired off of ghosts.
Well, all of Hollywood is actually incredibly racist, so you're
we
probably
are.
not wrong.
No clue. Our mind works in extremely weird ways. I'm sure it's possible.
Oh no, they're all racist. Anyway, fuck, what were we talking
Oh, I
about?
wasn't denying that, though. I wasn't denying the fact they were racist. We were talking about Boeing, and we're ready to move into aliens.
Yeah. Tell me about aliens.
I know nothing about
agree.
aliens, really. And how can we really know anything about aliens? I guess what I want to know from you is, do you believe in aliens, and why?
So I do believe in extraterrestrials. Be careful of that cable.
Okay, so you made the difference. You made the differentiation. What's an extraterrestrial and what's an alien?
So the definitions are different because an alien, per our definition, is anybody who's not from wherever they happen to be. A foreigner, basically.
Oh.
Okay, that's what an alien actually is, a foreigner. An extraterrestrial is a being from another planet.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Or a terrorist that's just really good at their job.
That would be an alien.
An extraterrestrial.
I mean, you could have extraterrestrial terrorists.
I'm sure that's what we're waiting for, right?
I'm not. Who the fuck says they're waiting for that? You just wake up in the morning. You know what? I want people to bomb us from space.
I'd wake up and be like, God decided today was the day. I'll go dig my own grave. Thank you. You know?
It'd be a big hole.
Yeah. I was talking to it would smell forever.
Well,
It's
no,
like
not
my
after
rotting corpse. Come
not
on.
after the aliens blow you up.
Are you trying to say that a corpse won't fucking smell after it's been blown up? Like it's the only way a corpse won't smell after it's rotting? I'll just be in a dozen pieces.
If your body gets vaporized, it's not gonna smell at all.
Oh, so I'll be vaporized. Here's my thing: is that like when they vaporize me, I feel like I go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Not just turn into a pile of dust.
No, you would turn into plasma.
Oh, that's that tricky fourth state of matter, right?
It is.
That's the... I know nothing about plasma either.
But you knew it was a fourth state of matter. You lying fuck.
I know not. Shut up!
You fucking liar!
Stop!
Oh, I don't know anything about that, but
I know nothing about plasma. I only know that it's the fourth state of matter. I only know it's the fourth state of matter, and I know this because when I was in elementary school, somebody said there's 4 states of matter, and I went, no, I was only taught 3. It's crazy. You figured out there's a 4th state of matter? How is that not going to stick with you? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you know about plasma? What am I lying about?
Not knowing anything. Okay, so yeah, there has to be aliens because we live in, as far as we can tell, an endless universe. Just in our one galaxy alone, there's billions of stars. All these billions of stars have planets. And for us to be the only life forms out there, it's hard to believe, but also at the same time, life has to originate somewhere. So the case can be made either way, but in my opinion, I don't think we're the first. And actually, I know we're not, because when I was a kid, I saw a UFO.
Now, I started the conversation, but have you ever considered that to be schizophrenia?
Who said that?
He's going to post this podcast and nobody's going to be here talking. It's going to be so fucking funny.
It's just going to be one.
It's going to be you.
Yeah. It's going to be my dog.
I think that experiences like that, like seeing an alien or whatever, well, like, I think they're like super personally helpful. I don't think that they're helpful in attesting to like, are the aliens real? Because like we see shit all the time. We see and hear shit all the time. I was gonna say something. I have a friend of mine who.
Are you picking your nose and then wiping your eye?
No, it was just the like little flap.
Right.
That's not a pick of the nose, is it?
What
it's
is
like
it?
my nose itched. It's itching your nose.
Sure, whatever you want to tell yourself.
Whatever I want to.
And then you rub your eye. So I mean, yeah.
Is that how you lost yours?
No. It's much more painful.
Was it really a painful process?
Yeah, very much so.
How so? What happened?
Glaucoma.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about, is that a cancer?
No.
Is it just a thing of its own?
So I've had rheumatoid arthritis since I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the type of arthritis that I have, it also affects my eyes, which gave me a couple conditions. I had uveitis and iritis, which are both inflammations of different parts of the eye.
Okay.
And so when that happens, something else got messed up. And so my intraocular fluid wasn't flowing as it should have been. So when that happens, you start building up pressure inside of your eye. And that's what glaucoma is. And when that pressure builds up, it elongates your eye. And when that happens, that damages the optic nerve. And the optic nerve is part of your central nervous system. And when your central nervous system gets damaged, it can't repair itself. So one thing led to another, led to another.
Hell yeah. I was just curious. You ever think Braille's going to be in the picture for you?
Who knows? I had to have emergency surgery on my right eye so that they could put in a glaucoma drainage device. So what that is, sorry, dog boy. What that is they cut my eye open and they put a little reservoir attached to a tube with a valve in it. And so they put the reservoir in my eye and then cut a little hole deeper into my eye so they could stick the tube in it to where my interocular fluid is. And so there's a little valve in the tube so that when the pressure inside goes up to a certain level, the valve opens and then the interocular fluid drains into the reservoir. And then when the pressure goes back down, it closes and the reservoir just drains into my eye.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. Who do you think made that little valve?
It was the Israelis.
Was it like a little? Yeah. I don't feel like we can trust them with our medical equipment.
Well, they're the only reason I'm not blind at the moment. So
Wait.
I trust them.
Hey, it's just you got it. I don't know who you rooting for. You rooting for the Israelis because your eye spet?
No, I'm rooting for the Israelis because they're not terrorists. Basically.
That's so fucking funny. I found out that the land doesn't belong to either of them.
Correct.
Because I decided to pay attention one day. You know what I mean? And I was just like, you conquered this 300 years ago through rape and pillaging. Let somebody else do it again. You know what I mean?
So, when it comes to war, which has always existed and always will exist.
There are no winners.
There are winners. There are very much winners. And there are losers. So, now the formation of Israel, you can say it was kind of bullshit, which I can agree with to an extent. The thing is, though, they've been fighting wars ever since then to keep it. And they've been winning those wars. And throughout the history of mankind, every civilization fights wars to get land, and then they fight wars to keep that land. And that's just the way it is. That's the way it's always been. The U.S., it's the same thing. Canada, Mexico, it's happened literally throughout time. Now, do I like that? I can't really say one way or the other. But at the moment, if the Israelis are winning their wars, that land is theirs. If, like I said, if Hamas suddenly became the most brutal military force in the Middle East and took over Israel, that's Hamas's land. But they're just the inferior force.
It's just a shame for all the women and children and gay men.
I agree.
That's, I always think that's so funny whenever people are just like women and children and fuck the guys, fuck the men. They can take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. It's like, when's the last time you've
that's
ever...
our culture.
I guess so, but when's the last time you've ever seen a grown man take care of himself?
I mean, I moved out when I was 19.
I don't know. It's not. Let's do an audit of your life and figure out if it'd be whatever with a woman in it. I don't know.
It definitely would be. Absolutely. Oh my God. Can I please have a wife or a serious girlfriend, please?
I hear that you can order one online in certain parts of the world.
I could go down to Colombia.
Is that one of the places?
It's one of the places I want to go.
Yeah. Just for the coke or the girls?
The women. In my opinion, the most attractive women come from Latin America.
It's funny, you talk to anybody who's been married to a Latina,
they're crazy.
They're crazy. Then she made him that way. It's just like, so are you seeing anybody now? And it was like, nope, I'm still thinking about that dumb bitch.
Well, marriage is also very hard. Like, if you don't marry the right person, you're setting yourself up for failure. And it's very hard to find the right person. And even if you do find the right person, it's hard just to maintain the relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody's got their problems. So hopefully your problems line up with theirs. You can find, middle ground to, compromise for each other for the sake of the relationship. Not everybody can. Apparently, half of the people can't.
That's a good one. You got to take into account the people who never decide to get married in the first place, I guess. These like consider it. Do we factor? Because isn't common law marriage a thing? You're like you married if you live under the same roof with one person and do like
Yeah, in Texas, you have to be living together for a year.
So do we count common law marriage? Like, what's the difference between those two things?
Well, with common law marriage, if it ends, there's no real paperwork involved. You just move out of the house. Unless you buy the property together. That's different. But if you're like, go through the whole getting a marriage license, booking your venue, doing the whole ceremony, yada, 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 yada. Yeah, that's a lot more. That is really making a real commitment. And you're still picking your nose, but that's fine.
I'm so fucking. It's okay. At least I'm not knuckle deep. Sorry.
But I don't know what you do when you leave here. God damn it, got a booger.
No, I don't. Oh my God.
Well, I already know you're a liar.
I still don't understand what I lied about.
Plasma?
Uh-huh. Just fuck a dude who lies about plasma, dude. I can't
trust those people.
Can't trust people who lie about their plasma knowledge. I guess I have to apologize and say I'm sorry. I do know one thing about plasma, and it's that it's the fourth state of matter.
If you're apologizing, you've already lost.
You've already lost. You have one eye.
I didn't apologize for it.
You constantly are by wearing an eye patch. You know that, right?
No.
Don't look, guys. I'm so sorry that I have no eye here. I'm such a sorry.
My eye is still there. It's very much there.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
But it just doesn't point the same way as this eye. And now my eyelid on this side is also droopy, so I look like I'm constantly drunk. So I'll be looking at you with one eye, but my other eye would be looking somewhere over there.
Okay.
And so this looks significantly less retarded.
That's great.
Uh-huh.
I feel
because if not, I was like, "Hey, you guys!"
Can you imagine looking like Sloth, just having normal human diction, just like, yeah. So I got home yesterday from work, and he just looks like that. Yep. That's how most of them grow up to be.
Sloths?
Nah, they still look retarded, but they don't act like it. Yeah. So you're doing a really good job right here.
Thank you. I strive for excellence.
Clown Syndrome podcast,
power?
Everybody. It's not black power. It's my power. I co-opted that. I actually...
Racist?
Shut up. I'm not racist. I'm just reclaiming some things. And what I need to tell you is that I started comedy.
You identify as black, right?
Sure. I guess we could say that. I've got a couple cancerous bodies, they're getting pretty dark, you know what I mean? Anyway.
I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Talking about moles.
Why don't you explain it?
I don't have any cancerous lesions on my body. I was just a little bit that I was going into that didn't work.
Obviously.
In this room.
Is this what your comedy is like?
No. So, but it's funny. People are just like, do people actually laugh at your comedy? And I was just like, oh fuck, I hope so.
Well, you see, I laugh at my own jokes.
So you don't need an audience? What is that?
I don't. I'm just funny.
Sad by yourself.
But I make my own self laugh.
That's that's the closest thing. It's like comedy masturbation,
Pretty much.
I keep going back, but I forget about the depth perception.
Are you making a joke? Was this their first joke you're making?
No, I exist as a joke, but
well, yeah, look at you.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You thought those two shirts were a good idea?
Actually, I wore
I'm not
this.
even the gay one here, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. I mean, that's what you're gonna wear today?
Yeah, no.
I didn't even iron my shirt, but I look at you and like, oh wow.
This is the only ironed shirt that I had. Actually, it's okay. You remember when I said that you don't look like you know how to take care of yourself? The shirt is case in point.
Well, I do know how to iron, but you got here before I thought you would.
So you
And I was like, fuck. I'm like, fuck it. It's going to be wrinkled. It's fine. This is the most unwrinkled one I have right now.
that's how I live my life.
Wrinkled?
Yeah. Yeah, no. My comedy's weird because it's not funny. It's not, and I will give you that.
Then is it comedy?
Then is it comedy? So let's...
You want to talk into the mic there?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay.
I just realized that. I was like, fuck, I've got to take inventory of what's going on in my mind. But the word comedy, I think, and I come from...
here we go.
I come from a dramatic
A land
standpoint.
down under.
What the fuck are you saying?
I come from a land down under.
I come from a land down under.
It's a song.
I thought you were just mocking an Australian person.
I was, because they're Australian.
Oh.
That group is Australian. I come from a land down under.
I don't think our culture is syncing up as much as you want it to. I think that I don't get that reference and you keep pushing it.
I think you're very young and you have no idea what I'm talking about.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's also what I'm trying to say.
But also, I don't care.
Comedy from a dramatic standpoint, to me, like it just means a story where everything ends up okay in the end. And so as long as I've had fun and the audience has had fun, I think that that's a success. Does that make sense?
No. So kicker in the pussy. How does that end up okay in the end? Dave Chappelle, kicker in the pussy bit.
I don't know what bit you're talking about. You want to do it for me?
Oh. You're too young.
Okay.
Do you not? First of all, you know who Dave Chappelle is.
I know who Dave Chappelle is, yes.
Have you seen his specials?
I've not watched one of his specials, no. And I'll tell you, I'm not necessarily like a stand-up fan unless it's people in my local.
So why do you want to do stand-up then?
Because I am grateful to have the opportunity to make people laugh and smile, and it's for the same reason that I create theater, and it's for the same reason that you probably do this podcast. Why do you do this podcast?
Because I wanted to get big enough to make money off of it so I don't have to have a normal job.
Well,
that's the plain and simple, if I'm being 100% honest. Secondarily, I think I'm right about a lot of things, and I want to tell people about it.
see, you've got your art, and you've got what you want to display into the world. You want to say something. Also, stand-up would be nice to live off of. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
If I got, I was thinking about it on the car on the way over here. Like, I'm not to the point where my comedy and material itself is undeniably funny. And there are many different types of comics, but like you can kind of see like their presence is undeniably funny, and then their material is undeniably funny. And they normally start in one place, and then it's kind of tuning it and leveling them out. I feel that my presence is definitely a lot stronger than my material. And so right now I'm trying to write as much as I can and recording my sets and going back through. But it's difficult because my brain, like I'm retarded. So sitting and writing stuff out doesn't work as well for me as a lot of other people. I hope it's funny. Really hope it's funny.
I'm also working on my first comedy set.
Oh, yeah?
You wanna exchange bits? You tell me one, I'll tell you one?
Yeah. Let me think of one that I haven't worked out yet because I don't want to lose my material to this, my good material to this podcast. It's all I have.
Because I have so many people to watch this.
I think the other day I was talking about...
I'm your audience.
Thank
I'm your
you.
audience.
Well, somebody was talking to me about how the hardest part of their job was turning off the ventilator of like a child or just somebody. I forgot there's a specific word, but turning off a ventilator of somebody on life support. If that's the hardest part of your job, get another one. If that's the most difficult part of your job, get another one. Because, I mean... I punch the same amount of buttons when I walk into a Williams Sonoma and want to touch shit. So like that's when I haven't necessarily worked out yet.
Hey,
It's a good premise, I feel.
Yeah, I think there's something there. So, I don't know if you knew this about me, but blind people don't really have a lot of options when it comes to income. So, I have to choose my jobs rather carefully. So, what I do for a living is Uber driver.
Nice.
Yeah. So now,
You still have your license?
yeah. So you're my audience. That's a good question, though. So I don't know. Well, let me tell you this. I didn't get my driver's license in Texas. Okay. When I moved here, I already had it. And I think there's probably a big difference between how people in California and Texas get their driver's licenses. Like, I'm not from here, but you are, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe you can shed some light on this, because what I heard is here in Texas, if you go to get your driver's license and they ask you, well, have you ever driven a car before? And you say no, they say, perfect, here's your driver's license. Conversely, if you say yes, they say, fuck your mother, here's a gun. And then you get your driver's license.
Yeah. You have to pass a test. I know that. You need to pass an actual.
This is a joke.
I thought you were just trying to.
I was doing a bit.
No. They just hand it to you. Okay.
Yeah, because nobody here in Texas can fucking drive.
Yeah. No, that's a good premise. I just took it too seriously and I ruined it.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
yeah, you're welcome. I do that. Really, I laugh really loud at people's premises too, because they don't realize they're the punchline to their own joke.
So they're like, airline food.
They're just like, God, what's something really insane that somebody would say is just like, the other day I got done.
We're all equal.
Walking my boyfriend on his leash or something. Like, that's fucking funny because you don't look like you do that. I don't know. A lot of, I like the humor that's not in the joke.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to hear something that's really insane, there's women's rights.
I can't imagine too many of them want to vote anymore, right?
Have you
Like
asked
that
them?
was a I don't want to talk to them.
Women? I don't know.
I just I don't want to talk to him. I think that the arranged
None of us do.
marriage model is really the best that we have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that if one day I just woke up and had a wife, that'd be pretty cool. Know that my parents got paid for giving me away. That'd be even cooler. Make little brown babies. That'd be sick.
So you want to marry an Indian woman?
No, I am the Indian woman in this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it is 2024.
Somebody said that to me legitimately.
Are
the
you
other day.
interested in boxing? Because let me tell you about this thing called the Olympics. I think you got a really good shot here.
They're really queuing in on trans people this year. No, I'm 3 years on T. Woo. Not really. I did have friends that were on testosterone when I was like 16 or 17. And this was all during the time that like people were just like, they're putting hormones on our children. You know what I mean? Like that's
They're making the frogs gay.
They're making the frogs gay. But like this was the no trans children movement. And I was like, they're not fucking.
That was the thing?
Yeah. Well, it's still happening. People don't want trans children because they don't think that they can make that decision. And I'm, probably right. I mean, your children are always going to be a product of their environment. So if they want to wear a dress, it's your fault. Like, yeah.
You're the trans mom.
Or maybe it's not. I remember being a little queerdo and trying on my mom's, high heels. But in my mind, it's like, who wouldn't do that?
In your mind.
In my mind, of course. But in all actuality, like, who wouldn't do that? Just see, like, this super cool type of new shoe. Like, it wasn't at all like I want to wear a dress and wear heels, I don't think.
Well,
I
you
think it was
obviously
just
wanted
like-
to wear heels.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. They hurt.
Liar again.
Liar.
See, you're saying things and then immediately rebuking them. Just so you know, I'm gonna call you on all your shit.
That's fine. I don't think it's shit. To be honest with you, I think that we think in pictures and speak in words, and then I keep trying to whatever. I'm just a pathological liar. We're cool.
You're like, fuck. Am I a liar? Am I the problem? Am I toxic?
No, I for sure know I am all three of those things, except for a liar. You're bringing this to my attention tonight, but
Like, I never realized this about myself.
no,
I've got to change my ways.
my Instagram bio says admittedly the problem.
So what you're doing is you're trying to throw them off the trail.
Not
is
doing
there
a good
still
job.
water in that cup?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
just take my little sips.
That's amazing. It's like
Yeah.
the fucking bread from the Jews for 40 days and 40 nights, or whatever that story is.
That's
Don't give me facts. We don't do that here. We go with feelings alone.
that's not. Are you talking about Hanukkah? I don't know the 40 days and 40 nights. I don't know anything about that.
It is Hanukkah, yeah,
It is Hanukkah. That wasn't bread. That was oil
and fish.
and a lamp. No, you're
Yeah.
mixing up.
Because they didn't have enough bread, they didn't have enough fish, but every day they went to cut it, to pass it out. And I'm like, wow, we haven't run out yet. This is a miracle. And then after 7 days, they all died or something. I don't know. I don't know how the story goes exactly, but it's something like that.
I think they have 2 loaves of bread and 7 fish or something.
So you admit there is fish. You fucking
There-
liar. Oh,
No.
what do you mean there's fish? What are you talking about?
No,
All
'cause-
of a
so-
sudden, now you know how the story goes. Wow, Nathan.
You're talking about 2 different stories. Is the best part of
You're
this?
2 different stories.
You're 2 different stories.
Fucking, yeah.
Yeah, I got a dualism to me. Yeah.
I'm multifaceted. Very
That's,
complex.
The Hanukkah story is about the Maccabees, and they had a lamp, and they didn't have enough oil for the lamp, and then it ended up lasting for 7 days. So that's a lame miracle. This is an example of a lame miracle. They had lamp light.
Kind of like your birth.
It was a C-section, so it was really more of a.
That was
It
even
wasn't
worse.
too big of a spectacle.
Here's your
But
baby, ma'am.
an even cooler music.
We'll stitch you up now.
The even cooler miracle is, bitch, they should have put me back inside. Wonder if they ever do that to a C-section baby? Put the baby back inside?
So, fuck, you're going to make me get science now. Okay. That does happen if they have to do prenatal surgery. Or neonatal, whatever it is. Yeah, if they have to do surgery on the fetus, they do exactly that.
It's not worth it. It's not. 9 more months is how long? It's not that.
9 months is 9 months.
Yeah, I mean, you're good point there, Sherlock. But
That's the nicest thing anybody's called
just
me all day.
the nicest thing anybody's ever called you is
No,
Sherlock?
that's the nicest thing anybody's called me all day.
All day?
Yeah,
I'm surprised that anybody calls you.
they don't. You see this riffing back and forth. This is good. This is good.
Yeah.
This is good entertainment.
You asked me if
For
my
me,
comedy
anyway.
is funny.
Yeah.
This is mostly
my
what
jokes are
comedy
funny.
is.
I mean, maybe you
I
can
hope
learn
my
from me.
jokes are funny. Damn, I think I'm making funny jokes.
Oh, is that what you think is happening?
Yeah.
Oh, Well, that's
Not really.
it for
I'm not knocking it out of the park or anything.
Swing
Except
for the
episode of
fences,
Clown
bitch.
Syndrome. You ever play any video games?
Do I look like a nerd?
Yeah.
No. I take that back. I do.
You do. What do you play on? What do you play?
The only things I play is Flight Simulator and racing games.
So you work. The only thing I do is this super realistic plane flight simulator.
I've actually
It's
got a bit
almost
about
like
it.
being in a. You've been a pilot?
No, I've got a bit about it.
You've got. Yeah. I saw a trucker with this setup in his truck. And he was just
Really?
like, yeah, when
Opposed to where else would he have a set?
Nah, fuck off. Fuck off.
I'm
In
sorry.
the cab of his truck.
It's a good place to have a setup.
Yeah, and he's playing
that
fucking
perfection.
trucking simulator. He's playing trucking simulator. He gets to go all day and simulate his fucking trucking in real life. It's not a simulation.
He's committed to his craft.
I think the only solution at that point is to put a bullet in your head. If you're driving 24/7, if it gets to the point where you can't not drive while you're not driving.
So hold the fuck up. So you're mad that this guy loves what he does.
I'm mad that he looks like such a loser doing it.
You're mad because his life has purpose.
I'm mad that he sends it all in this 9 by 9 by 9
How dare
foot
you have
space.
hobbies, sir?
How dare you? The one hobby that you have is driving while you're not doing the digital version of what you're already fucking doing.
Maybe he just loves his job that much. He does it for the love of the game.
I think that really is just it. Sir, go get your diagnosis. Your little aspy ass. You driving 24/7.
Aspy ass.
Asperger's.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a worse kind of burger.
That's a. I think taint burger would be worst. I think Asperger would be second.
Right.
Eye burger, wouldn't want that. I've eaten a fisheye before.
So you took a joke and just kept going with it till it wasn't funny anymore.
Yeah.
Is that how you do your stand up?
Yeah, I don't. When it
I
comes
do
to
the
that,
same
I
thing.
don't pull my punches very well.
Oh.
But no, that's how that's a lot of my.
You know, I've got to educate you on the art of talking shit.
Yeah. No,
See,
I'm not.
This is exercise number 1. Because that was on your topics.
Talking shit.
Yeah.
The art of roasting.
Yeah.
Are we gonna? I don't know. I was
You want to roast me
talking
right
about
now?
that.
You want to roast me? Roast me.
Roast you?
Yeah.
You look like you're about to rub your hands together very maniacally.
Okay.
I mean, that's just
Can you
like
be
it's all
funny?
I have right now.
Be funny. Come on.
That's a. I
Listen,
don't know.
Fat Ellen, tell me a funny joke.
You look like the dude that hosts that "What Would You Do" show if nothing had gone right. You seen that? Johnny Quinones.
Okay.
He's a fat, hairless. He's got hair on the top of his head, but he's fat, hairless, and he sets up these situations. And then whenever they go wrong, he comes out and he goes, "My name is Johnny Quinones on What Would You Do?" You're him if he never got that gig. You're him if he never meant anything to anybody at all.
Do you know what was wrong with that?
Too long.
Yes. Try again.
I wasn't
Come
trying
on.
to be funny.
Okay, try to be mean. Make yourself laugh.
It's hard to make me laugh. I think.
You can't make yourself laugh?
It would be, listen,
Roast me. Be as mean as you can.
you look like you've got an ice cube up your ass currently right now. You handle yourself that uncomfortably.
Is that all you got?
No,
on, keep going.
I'm sure
Keep
I've got more
going.
somewhere, Schmo Rogan.
Turn those fucking wheels.
How big are you expecting this podcast to get?
Bigger than your dick.
Once you have somebody that actually, you should have an actual Down syndrome person on here.
I thought that's why you were here.
You know, they're actually so cool and so happy. I hope they're doing okay. They are. I know they are. That's where'd the name Clown Syndrome come from?
So
What half are you from?
I like puns. Okay. So when Mike and I were trying to come up with a name, I was trying to think of as many puns as I could. And Mike was too. So what we originally agreed on, I had the idea of what a podcast after Whataburger. And so we're both like, oh, that's great. Problem is somebody's already using that name.
Is it the official Whataburger people? Because I wouldn't expect anybody else.
No, somebody else. So we can use that one. So I was trying to come up with other puns. And so I was trying to think of medical conditions.
Okay.
So Down syndrome came up. It just popped in my mind. And I remember Mike's a comedian. And they call people online who are stupid clowns. It's like, oh, what if it was the Clown Syndrome podcast? Because, Mike being a comedian, people calling us clowns, kind of taking the word back. And
your nose look like you've got two crayons stuffed up there.
You want to try that?
That was
again?
fucking not stuffed crayons up my nose. I'd have to pick it to get it out, and then you wouldn't like that.
You'd have to pick my nose?
I have to pick. No, I want to try stuffing crayons.
Have you ever stuck your
nose.
fingers
That's
in a hole before?
In a hole? No, I'm violently uncomfortable and afraid of sex. It's great.
I believe you.
I am repulsed, honestly.
Well, I mean, kind of repulsive. So
that works
yourself in
out.
the same adjectives.
I think that works out, and I'm probably, I don't know. You're not looking too hot either. Just saying, but it gotta work out.
I could pull more guys than you.
I'm sure that anybody is thrilled when they walk in and see your podcasting setup first and foremost.
Well, you know how many people have been on that couch?
I don't know how many naked.
One. Well, including me. Actually,
It's not a good couch to have sex
3.
on.
It's really not.
I'll tell you guys right now, my ass is just fully on his sofa because it
Where else would it be? You're sitting on the sofa.
In the seat of my fucking jeans. But if your couch didn't grab my pants and pull them down, this is when I find out there's somebody in your couch. The cushion, it's weird. There's a gaping hole behind it, and it pulled my pants down.
You don't got to tell us about what you do in your spare time.
This isn't my spare time. This is when I'm trying. This isn't spare time at all.
Behind you.
What'd you say?
You said there's a gaping hole behind you.
There's
kind of walked right into that one.
How crazy?
I mean, kind of walked sideways, but
glory holes are fun. Do they always go up to the mouth? Is that always what they?
No, you get on your knees.
I'm gonna write a sketch about just a really tall glory hole. I think that would be fun. That's a fun premise. I think. I'm not, and obviously I'm not good at the sketch thing. I had an audition for a sketch team today. I'm not gonna get on. Obviously.
Tell us about that audition.
Went very well. I didn't wear this dumbass shirt. I wore the gray one under it. So, it was fine. We just did a bunch of readings from SNL skits that they collected and et cetera, et cetera. But I read one time and I played a woman, and I read another time and I played an elf. Did another sketch a week ago. Not on this team. It's why I did one audition. I dressed up as an elven princess. We did a Lord of the Rings sketch and I was an elven princess, which was fun. And I got told that my co-star broke character because my nipple was just so big and protruding out of the dress. So that was fun. Got to wear a wig, figured out some things about myself. It's pretty neat.
Righto.
There was this one sketch about supervillains wanting to fuck Batman. I didn't get to read it. It would have been a fun one, though. It was like, we're all gonna fuck Batman, and that was the whole joke. It's pretty cool.
Like, literally or metaphorically?
Okay, so now it actually is pretty funny. It's just like, we know what we're gonna do to the Batman, and it's gonna be like, we're gonna kill Batman, but everybody else says, fuck Batman. We're gonna fuck the Batman, and they're just like all horny for Batman. There's a part in the scene where it's just like, I didn't get to read it. I was really upset, but there was a part in the scene where they all see a picture of Batman and they're all just really horny. Mm-hmm. Well, that would have been really fun to act out. I hope we get to do something like that. If I make it onto the sketch team, I lied about my availability. Not really. Kind of. I don't know. You ever do your availability on something and then you just check off, I'm available all the time, when you don't know that you're available all the time?
No, because I value my time.
That's good for you. I feel like that comes with like valuing.
Self-worth?
Yeah. I was about to say like valuing yourself as a person, working on it.
Hey, we got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I'm so glad that we see eye to eye.
Oh, I see what you did there. Not
what?
very well, but
Okay. Your dog's nice.
yeah, he's cool. He's a good boy most of the time.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he didn't kill you, so.
Is he gonna kill anybody? That big fucking monster cock he's got on him is gonna slow him down. Don't look at your dog's dick. It was just peeking at me like 15 minutes ago.
This dog will put his balls in anybody's face. He regularly does. Like right now, he's curled up, so it's not bad. But give him another, half hour. If he continues to lay there, he will roll over onto his back and just go, here's my balls.
That means okay. One, I'm gonna say that probably means like he trusts you or something.
I hope so.
I hope so too, because what dog is gonna show you his balls if he doesn't trust you? Second of all, isn't it really funny that like whenever like I don't know, white women are just like, it's because he trusts you, he showed you his balls. You know what I mean? Just like
you do have to really trust another person to show them your balls. Because that's one of the most sensitive parts of your body. I don't. You know what? All men should just go around showing our balls to women that we like. Like, hey, bitch.
There's a reason there's a reason that there aren't any men that do that. And I think it's because they're behind bars.
Yeah.
Just because you can't see your balls doesn't mean that they can't see your balls.
I can see my balls.
Don't know.
I don't know why you're winking at me.
Because it doesn't work when you do it. So I've got to wave something in your face.
Well, it's called blinking for me.
I'm going to go home and look up the etymology of that word, motherfucker.
Balls?
Balls? Sure.
You're going to look up the etymology of balls?
Yeah. What do you think it is? Balls? What do you think that means?
I don't know. I've got Balzheimer's.
But you forget the last time you came? What is that?
It was 87 years ago.
You're an ancient man.
Thank you.
Wasn't a compliment. I was just calling you old.
Don't assume what I think is a compliment.
Well, I don't think it works like that. I don't think that you get to decide what a compliment is.
You don't get to decide how I take your words.
You wanna know what a good decider is? The person who has a gun. That always works.
I have guns.
Okay, I see how easy that was.
Yeah, I win.
You win. It's if you're fighting with anybody, you just gotta stop back and you gotta be like, well, who wins? The one with a gun.
Welcome to Texas.
All the time. Unless it's democracy.
Well, normally it's democracy because you wanted to talk about politics.
My lack of knowledge of politics.
Yeah, which is
He
probably
said
a
I wanted
lie,
to. I think the quote was, "My lack of knowledge might be funny to exploit."
because you're a fucking liar. Which you probably took political science classes in high school
I didn't.
with the waves that you've been lying this whole episode.
That's a good
First about the plasma, and then about the fucking Jewfish.
one. Bro, you look like you donate
Yeah.
plasma.
I did.
It pays a
Yeah.
bill here and there.
I almost died. Literally, I'm pretty sure I almost died the last time I did it, which was why it was the last time I did it.
Oh,
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
oh. Did you see God?
No, so what happened was my vision started getting much more narrow than it already is, and all the colors started fading out of my vision.
That's scary.
So that started happening, and then I started getting really hot. It was like when the alarm started going off and all the nurses ran over to me. They started putting ice packs all over my body, and yeah, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pass out." And yeah, it was it was an intense 5 minutes.
Only 5. How fast did you recover after that? Was it just 5 minutes and then?
Well, so it took me about I don't know about 3 to 7 minutes to fully regain my composure, and then after that they had me stick around for another half hour.
Okay.
Yeah,
As they do.
it's crazy shit.
Yeah, that's. I'm glad that they're equipped to do that. I'm glad you're not dead.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was crazy, man. Yeah, because I'm sitting there, and you know how it tells you to like pump your arm. So on this particular day, I was doing it with my left arm because I had done it with the right one last time, and my forearm and this arm isn't nearly as strong as this one because this is how I jack off. Okay, so I'm sitting there, and my forearm just starts losing, function. And so eventually it's telling me to squeeze. And I'm like, I can't squeeze anymore. So I just let it go. And then the alarm starts going off. And I'm like, I can't do it anymore. And then there was a different alarm. And then that's when I started getting really hot. And my vision started going all monochromatic. And then a nurse walks by and she's like, are you feeling okay? I was like, I think we need to stop. And she's like, and then she radios like, we need the carts. I was like, oh shit.
Did you sign anything to keep you from suing?
Yeah, you have to do that.
Never donated blood.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be allowed
The
to.
AIDS.
Yeah, probably not the AIDS. I've always been like really surprised that like they let obese people donate their blood because really it's good enough. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's full of nutrients.
Like I doubt not theirs. You know what I mean? Or it is their nutrients, but they're not taking advantage of it.
Yeah, you've already got it's a food source.
Isn't it? They pay you more if you weigh more.
I don't think so.
I feel like that's
See, look.
just something for something. Yeah, that's
Hello, Poopy.
that's pretty cool. I hope your dog knows that he's lucky that his aren't cut off.
I need to get him fixed because when dogs are fixed, they live longer.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, but they can't fucking have any fun. Huh?
he's not fucking anything as it is.
A pillow. It's
Nope.
pretty nice. Yeah, I would. Does he not go after anything? Do you ever find him humping anything?
No, when I got him, he started that, and I yelled at him, so he stopped doing that.
Right now, next time he shows you his balls, just like
No, because he'll do that.
yo, right, you've got his balls. It doesn't matter.
His teeth are sharp. Have you
He's
ever
like,
been
he looks
bit
like
by a
really
dog?
just a sweet dog.
Have you ever been bit by a dog?
Not detrimentally.
Okay. If they actually want to bite you to hurt you, it's gonna hurt bad. Because his teeth might not look super sharp. Come here. But they really are.
Yeah.
Like when there's force behind them, those are sharp teeth.
Hate
And
to
it
figure out what
worked.
those balls feel like. If the teeth are like that, the balls have to be brutal.
I mean, don't touch his balls. And you won't have to worry about that.
Oops. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we're going on 2 hours here. We didn't talk about anything that we wanted to talk about. But
Well, I had a lot of fun, and I hope it's good content.
yeah, it'll be okay.
All right.
Anyways, anything you want to say before we go?
I haven't
Suicide
announced the
notes,
dates
anything like
yet. Well, a suicide note's waiting for me at home. So it was a nice meeting. I'm going to go kill myself now.
Okay.
Not really. You can find me at I know I announced my other show. I have another show on the 22nd of September at 8 p.m. at the Core Theater in Richardson, where we'll be celebrating the legacy of open micer Grace Jacobs, who can just talk for a really long time. So we're going to do a farewell party for her. She's going to Indianapolis, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So come party. And
I don't know if you're trying to say things in an awkward way to make it really uncomfortable. But if you're not,
is it working?
if you're doing it intentionally, it's brilliant. Because I'm like, why am I so uncomfortable right now? It's funny. I think it's funny.
It's good.
I like if that's your style. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's really where a lot of my comedy comes from, and what I recognize
Just
where
super
a lot of
deadpan.
It's not deadpan. It's the juxtaposition between me and what the audience sees and what I'm saying. So, like, I'll go up there and say something about, like, not enforce the idea that trans people aren't real real of their gender, but just, like, suggest the idea and play along with it. And then everybody's just like, what the fuck? This fat 12-year-old is saying something that we don't expect him to say. And it's a party.
Righto.
Yeah.
Well, go see him in Richardson.
Yeah. In Richardson, Garland later this month. You can see me anywhere. Follow me, Nathan Beeman. Type it in the search bar. Remember me and follow me on Facebook. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming over.
Hell yeah.
All right, everybody. This has been whatever fucking episode it was. Follow, subscribe, like, I don't know. You can be on my podcast, let me know. Anyways, we'll talk to you later.
All right.